Dear friends, welcome to Civil Conclave presentation. Today we are going to discuss about how to write the work order for a civil contracts on a square foot basis. You can download this presentation using the link which has been provided in one of the slides. When you download it, it will ask for the password. Just click read only so that you can read the presentation thoroughly and understand. Let me go into the presentation. First, initial load. The subject has to be covered. The initial load to the contractor for awarding the contract. The reference is supposed to be the tender documents of the subjected work, then their offer letter indicating what all the meetings they held with that directors and what all the names, what all the details and everything has to be mentioned in the work order. In the work order, you have to mention your company name, project name, the scope of the work. Furthermore, you have to identify the agreement has to be read in conjunction with what all the conditions, such as contract conditions, specifications, general conditions, technical specification, etc., etc. Okay, and also it has to cover the item which has been left out inadvertently in the agreement shall be to be derived from the contractor, for which the contract document signed by the contractor. The order of the precedence has to be defined. It's supposed to be the contract documents signed by the contractors, the agreements, the relevant codes, the drawings, finally, the written instruction from the client and the consultant. You have to first and foremost in the work order, you have to identify the scope of the work. What all the scope of the work has been covered? Is it covered excavation, foundation, PCC, brickwork, plaster, etc., etc.? And also you have to identify what are the contractor scope. Suppose if there are other agencies working in that area, how to give the support to them, etc., etc., has to be identified in the general scope of the work. Then you're coming to the brief scope of the work. The brief scope of the work has to consist of the following. Like in your contract, it might vary, but I'm trying to cover you the items which is to be covered. That is PCC, RCC work, inclusive of form work, okay, reinforcement at all leads, lifts, heights, depth, etc. If there is a brick wall, AAC block wall, ledge wall, and toilets. Internal plaster, backcourt dado in the toilet area. If it is a ceiling plaster as included, it has to be included. If it is not, it is not to be included. External plaster for all the floors, parking floors, okay, etc., etc. All elevation features, fixing of the precast grills, molds, etc. Fixing subframes, door frames for the construction, including the application of the black Japan and the black Japan and fixing the whole spot, etc. Overhead tanks, all type of underground tank, lift machine room, that is to be based on the architect approved drawings, consultant and project manager instructions. STP tank civil works, compound walls if it's necessary, security cabin. If there is beyond these things, if there is any more work, that also has to be added in the brief scope of the scope. Equipment and machineries. What are the equipments and machineries the contractor has to bring into the site? For example, I am giving you some of the items such as a tower crane, concreting pump. Up to what height the concreting pump has to be pumped? Concreting mixer, if it is there, what sort of a mixer it has to be identified. Vibrators, what sort of a vibrators, electrical, mechanical, etc. Needles, mechanical hoist, that is the builder hoist, reinforcement cutting and bending machine, passenger hoist, etc. etc. Beyond that, if there is any more equipments to be added, you can add it. Technicians. Always a project will have a lot of issues for which to correct it. You have to have a technicians to be stationed at the site. So you have to mention what are the technicians they have to hire on a permanent role basis till the site is completed, such as electrician, mechanic, supervisors, etc. Next comes the progress photographs. For monitoring your progress for things, the contractor has to submit a photographs of every fortnight what is the work has to be completed. Okay, so these photographs will help the management to understand what is the progress that has been carried out compared to last time and everything. Kindly ensure that contractors submit the project progress photographs. Setting out. Now we come to the commencement of the work. You have to be very clear to identify the contractor. What are the responsibility of setting out the building, such as a layout, building, with reference to what? Drawing, existing building, etc. etc. Okay. And moreover, if there is any small alignment and everything, also has to be carried out by the contractor to the satisfaction of the project in charge, architect, client, etc. Okay. Moreover, you have to mention one particular paragraph, because generally, if there is an error has been happened, might be a human error, the contractor bound to turn around and say that, sir, this has been checked by you. Might be a person who checked it, he might not have checked it properly, the error. So always mention, if there is any error or an approval by the consultant or the client or by the architect, does not relieve the responsibility of the contractor to make the building in right level and length and etc. etc. Okay. This is a word which has to be generally has to be in the contract condition. And moreover, setting out based on what? Based on the temporary benchmarks, temporary buildings, etc. etc. has to be identified. Now you have to come down and identify the satisfactory of the work to what concern. Okay. You have to mention the contractor has to do the job to the entire satisfaction of the client, architect, engineers, and everything. Okay. Site meetings. Generally, in every project, there will be a site meetings will be conducted. So you have to make it a compulsory that the contractor attend the meeting on every week and review the progresses, and he is also eligible to ask for any clarifications, and client too can ask regarding the progresses, etc. So attendance of the site meeting has to be compulsory by the contractor. It has to be made it in the work order. Then you have to identify what are the laboratories. Site test laboratory has to be established. It should consist of what? Like, slum cone, cube molds for cement motor, CTM machine, soundness test, cube testing machine, brick testing machine, wave balance, ISCS, glass measuring cylinder, ultrasonic equipment, micrometer, vernier caliper, moisture meter, etc. etc. This is for my project, I given it. In your project, if there is more equipment is required, you have to identify what all the equipments has to be established in the laboratory. Then comes night working. Night working generally causes a lot of a concern to everybody because no one has takes care about proper safety and everything. So you have to mention that whenever they want to do a night work, they have to get an approval from the client, make necessary safety arrangement, proper elimination has to be incorporated in the project, and all these things has to be identified whenever there is a works during the night has to be carried out. Then comes the contract value. Now you are going to talk about a contract value because as it is a square feet basis, you will be mentioning the value is X amount for so much of square feet, that is inclusive of taxes or not. That has to be identified whether it is to be inclusive of taxes or exclusive of taxes. Because whenever the contract has been given, that time there was a preliminary drawings. So you have to mention that the final measurement will be checked out once the final drawing has been received. You have to identify whether the taxes is included in the contract or excluded. That has to be identified. And moreover, after the work is awarded, if there is any new government taxes has to be come down, who is going to bear the cost? That also has to be identified. Terms of payment. You have to identify after completion of the job, the contractor will get the payment on what basis, at what is the percentage, at what stage. This all the things has to be identified. First, there should be a retention money. In that itself, we have to very clearly mention that the retention money, how it is going to be released. Let us say 50% on virtual completion, 50% of after the deferred liability period, etc., etc. These are the things you have to mention. Certification and payment. How the contractor is going to get the payment. What is the modality of the certification? It has to be identified, such as the contractor will get a payment after 21 days, 30 days, whatever the days, after completing certain quantum of the job, which should be certified by the client. And you have to make it all running payments shall be considered as a running payment, advance payment. The contractor has to submit a monthly bill or a 2 months once according to your progress speed, everything you have to mention. Now comes the final bill. When the contractor will submit the final bill, that has to be identified, such as the contractor has to submit the final bill within 30 days of the provisional completion certificate issued by the client. Provisional completion certificate means the client will say all the work has been completed. That is what we call it as provisional completion certificate. You have to mention it. The final bill, when it will be get paid. Is it to be 60 days or 30 days, whatever the things. Okay. These are the conditions you have to make it in the certification of the payment. Then comes the defect liability period. Whenever the project is over, there might be some error might be happen in the project. It might cause us a lot of problems for the occupier. So for certain time, you have to make the contractor liable to rectify these defects. It should be 12 months or it should be a 1 monsoon. That is totally depend upon the management. He also has to mention if the contractor failed to adhere and rectify on the particular period, the client had a right to get it rectified and charge it actual plus 10%, and the same should be debited to the contractor. This is the class you can add it. Extra items. Whenever there is a project, there should be a lot of addition and deletions bound to happen in a project items. That is bound to create an extra items. See, on contract, how do you are going to pay the extra items? You have to be very clear, stating that the extra items should be material plus 15%, that is a contractor's overhead, That is according to your company management decisions. Okay. And who is the approving authority of the extra items? That also has to be mentioned. Then comes statutory regulation and requirement. In a construction industry, it has been governed by a lot of statutory regulations. So you have to identify the contractor has to abide by the all the local laws, etc., etc. Welfare says, PF pension, contribution, and all these conditions, statutory regulation has to be adhered by the contractor. That has to be mentioned in your work order. Time period. See, let us say, for if your project is to be supposed to be done in 36 months, you have to mention the 36 months. Okay. Then you can give a plus or minus certain period as a grace period. If the work is not completed on certain period, that is the agreed period, what will be the penalty you will be charging? And the penalty should not exceed up to what percentage? This all the things has to be incorporated in the work order. Approval of material. You have to mention that any material which is coming to the site, who is the approving authority? You have to mention that. The approved samples always to be maintained at the site till the project has been completed for a verification. If there is any other coordination has to be done by the contractor, what way you'll be coordinating, what is his limitation, and all these things has to be identified. Then comes the insurance. Insurance is a major part. You have to identify the contractor has to insure the laborers against the Workmen Compensation Act and all materials, theft and etc. on car policies. And the third party insurance is also is required because there is a lot of people comes and goes. All these insurance copies has to be given to the client for a record purposes. Indemnity. The contractor has to fulfill all his duties, obligation, such as understanding the rules and regulation, abiding the rules and regulation, etc., etc., has to be mentioned there. Moreover, you have to mention that if there is any damages has been occurred, the damages cost who will bear, whether the contractor or the client or somebody, that has to be mentioned in the class. Housekeeping. This is the most neglected part in the contract by the contractor, which is caused a lot of damages, a lot of unwanted things at the site. So I have to make it very clear that the contractor has to do the housekeeping on a daily basis. The client will visit on a fortnight basis. If it is not up to the standard, the client have every responsibility to penalize or get it clean and charge him according to the condition. Safety. This is the most responsible subject. You have to identify the safety norms, that is how to protect a safety net, what all the PPE kits has to be, the labor will be wearing it off, and all these things has to be minutely in detail has to be mentioned in the work order. Cleaning. Again, the project cleaning is the responsibility of the contractor, which is to be clearly identified in the work order. Storage space. For material storage space, for okay, what are the materials will be coming to the site? What is the space is required? Who will provide the space? Whether the owner will provide a shed or only a space which the contractor has to create it, etc., etc., has to be very clearly has to be mentioned in the work order. Specification. You have to identify what all the specification the contractor has to follow. because as it is in the contract, you will be giving a technical specifications to him so that you can mention that these are all the specifications you have to follow. In case of the specification is not very clear, you can refer the relevant IS code for the specification. Those all the things has to be mentioned. Now comes to the bar chart, BBS, etc. To maintain, suppose in case of the client is supplying the steel, the contractor has to prepare a bar bending schedule because the wastages percentage has been already mentioned in the contract. So by preparing the BBS, it is a moral responsibility of the contractor to give the BBS, which the client will approve. Then in the final tally, he will find out whether the material has been lost or anything. Accordingly, the client can take the right choice of finalizing the contract. Moreover, to monitor the project, the contractor has to submit a bar chart. The bar chart in which format? Is an Excel format or MEV format or Primavera, etc., etc., has to be defined by the work order. Okay. Termination. In case if there is some disputes between the contractor and the client, there might be a chance the contract has been getting terminated. If the contract has been getting terminated, on what basis? What are the precautions to terminate the contractor? Has to be identified as mentioned below in the contract. Okay. Arbitration. Suppose in some of the construction items, the client and the contractor might disagree with that. That can be referred to an arbitration. The arbitration, the act, you can mention that it is to be a sole arbitrator or Arbitration Act 1996 and everything has to be mentioned. You have to mention where will be the venue of the arbitration, what will be the languages will be, if the award can be challenged or not, everything has to be mentioned. Moreover, you have to mention the jurisdiction of the any legal client. Suppose if you are working in Mumbai, somebody want to file a case in Delhi, will not be workable. So on the contract itself, you have to mention the jurisdiction of the case should be on which city, and all the things has to be mentioned. Okay. Always the entire agreement which is to be mentioned, this agreement as supersedes the earlier discussions, etc., etc. And if there is any attachment to that, that also has to be identified in the work order. Then we are coming to the amendments. If there is any amendments, has to be identified in the writing. Generally, the precedence of the work order always will be like this: project brief, technical specification, general conditions, special condition, tentative drawing, payment schedule, etc. Extra item, as I mentioned you already, extra item has to be defined on what basis, material plus what is the overhead and profit margin, etc., etc. Who will be the approving authority for the extra item, etc. Then if there's any supply of the material by the owner, that has to be identified. These all the materials will be supplied by the owner at free of cost. Then how the water and electricity will be provided a contractor. Whether it will be provided at one point or it will be provided all over the project, that has to be identified. Is it a chargeable? That also has to be identified. If it is not chargeable, it's a free, that also has to be identified. Security. Security is again a tricky issue. The owner says, because I supplied the material to the contractor, it is a responsibility of the contractor. One way is right. So you have to mention that. Who will be the responsible person for maintaining the security of the premises? That has to be identified clear cut in the contract. Then mode of a measurement has to be identified. Okay. How many set of the drawing will be providing to the contractor, that has to be identified. Okay. All these things has to be covered in the work order. This is on a square foot basis. Item rate basis, the work order will be differ from this, which will be discussed in the next time. Illumination. You have to make sure it has been recorded that all the lightings has to be carried out by the contractor. You have to also identify the contractor has to submit on a daily basis a daily report. For concreting, if there is an approval of the pour card has to be maintained, the pour card has to be signed, etc., etc. Material entry and exit. Who will approve the material exit from the site? All these things has to be clear cut, has to be mentioned in the work order. Hygienic condition. Ensure that you put a class that hygienic condition is the responsibility of the contractor. You have to also identify, for executing the project, the contractor has to hire so many staff, what category staffs and everything. It should be make it clear, because the ultimate responsibility is come to the prime employee, so that you have to ensure that the contractor staffs get paid regularly, laborers paid regularly and everything. Otherwise, finally the responsibility comes to the principal employee. You can download this things and the link which has been provided below. Now let us come to what do you call it, payment schedule. This is for my project. I made it very clearly. Plinth, I'll say 10%, 21 slab, 45%. Then what will be the percentage per floor? Walls, okay, 12%. For how many floors? What is the equal percentage? External plaster, ward and LMR, waterproofing, paving. So now you have to identify the breakup of the percentages which you are going to pay out. Like that. If it is a lock and key, then you will be splitting into 65% as structural, 35% as finishing item. When you finish the 35% of finishing item, how do you are going to pay? In 35%, tiling will have a 20%, kitchen platform will have 5%. Like that, you have to segregate it. Okay. Thank you for watching this presentation. If you like this presentation, kindly like and subscribe so that I can give you more good presentation. In case of any queries, do not hesitate to write to me. The response shall be at the earliest. You can contact me at civilconclave@gmail.com or at my Telegram group, Civil Conclave Telegram group. The link has been provided below. Thank you for watching this presentation. Subscribe my channel. Kindly hit the bell icon so that whenever my next presentation comes, you'll get the first intimation. Thank you for watching this presentation. Thank you.